One of the largest aerodynes produced, the Triumph-class dropship was originally designed to carry an armored battalion onto the battlefield. The 450-year-old design has proven to be one of the most versatile and resilient in the fleet of the Successor States, and large numbers of Triumphs remain in service with all the great houses. Able to transport up to 45 tanks and the crews, the ship is one of the more common classes of dropship in the Successor States. In addition to transporting armored vehicles, its cavernous vehicle bay is also perfect for transporting conventional aircraft, artillery, BattleMechs, AeroSpace Fighters, and even surface naval craft. Though the shape limits its transit flight characteristics, it does allow armored vehicles to be loaded and unloaded quite easily. 3 huge cargo bays give the Triumph the capacity to carry a complete armored vehicle battalion, easily accessible via the 2 large doors on the dropship's sides. The ship's large interior is divided into 5 decks. The bottommost deck houses the ship's transit drives, landing gear, and fuel tankage. Running through the center of this deck is a portion of the ship's vehicle bay, which has room for 15 tanks lined up end to end. Near the aft end are 2 cargo bays, each capable of holding tons of supplies and equipment. The bays each have enough floor area to fit 4 light vehicles. The ship's main vehicle bay occupies most of the second deck, at the end of its ramp that, when lowered, leads down to the bottom deck but blocks any access to the lower vehicle bay. The second deck also houses the ship's forward weaponry bay and ammunition storage. The middle deck contains most of the ship's personnel and mess facilities, med bay, food storage, and personal equipment. The deck's aft section houses the lower half of the ship's engine core. The fourth deck contains the dropship's center, avionics, computers, communication electronics, batteries, and the upper half of the forward weapons bay. Also located on this deck is a well-equipped tactical operations center for use in coordinating ground unit movement and combat. The fifth deck houses the bridge, deep space tracking radar, waste processing, equipment storage, ship's laundry, and fire control systems. The back portion of the deck houses the power plant. Located at the far aft in the rear-facing quarter is the rear-facing weapons bay that can be accessed only through the engine compartment. The Triumph has 3 large bays to house the personnel of the armor companies. Each bay is long and narrow, with 12 double-high bunks lining each wall. Between each set of bunks is a large personal gear locker. At one of the large bays is a washroom for the entire company. At the opposite end is the main entrance, next to which it is a door leading to the CO's room. The unit's commander and the first sergeant share this room, which contains 1 double bunk, a fold-down wash basin, and a pair of fold-down tables and benches. The ship's crew is housed in double occupancy quarters located on the deck above the troop deck. The crew also has a separate mess and their own recreation facilities. Focused towards its role as a troop carrier, the Triumph had fairly light armament with a nose-mounted PPC, AC-10, LRM-20 and twin medium lasers, supported by an AC-5, LRM-15, a large laser and 2 mediums in each wing. The rear of the craft was protected by a single LRM-10 and 2 medium lasers. The Triumph is a demoralizing sight to enemy units. Though its passengers and cargo are not Mechwarriors and BattleMechs, an armor battalion usually makes up for it with numbers. Like many troop carriers, the Triumph was not designed to enter contested territory, and its meager armor and weaponry left the class extremely vulnerable to hostile fire. The Triumph's mission is to land in a pre-established landing zone and then deliver its battalion of tanks. Variants. The upgrade. BBP Industries of Lufien unveiled an advanced tech redesign of the Triumph in 3057, attempting to combat the venerable craft's lackluster weapons array, trading out the AC-10 for a Gauss rifle, the standard model PPC for an ER PPC, switching the large lasers for extended range models, trading 2 standard mediums for medium pulse lasers, and adding Artemis 4 FCS to all the LRM launchers. While representing fairly minor changes to the armament, unlike many other Lost Tech refits, BBP also attempted to redress some of the other annoyances of the Triumph, replacing the single large vehicle bay ramp with a pair of narrow ones, which provide simultaneous access to both upper and lower bays, while also allowing the crew to shift vehicles while in flight. The smaller bays were also factory upgraded to include 4 mech cubicles that allowed the upgraded Triumph to transport a mech lance as well as the armor battalion. The Assault Triumph. Developed by the Word of Blake in 3062 at the Titan Yards orbiting Saturn, the lighter Assault Triumph boasts heavier armor and weaponry while carrying a complete level 3.